your name, please?
Yep, David Hartman, Hartman.
Okay, and what's your role here at Save the
I do
Children?
social media specialist. So basically, social media and e-marketing,
Okay,
using social media channels to, I guess the essence of it is connecting our supporters, whether that be like a corporation or just a private individual, with the programs that we actually do, and
Okay.
showing them the kind of work that we do in the field. Not necessarily in real time, but on a daily basis. Just pictures of kids, videos, text, just stats.
okay, so you connect the private investor with the funding, I guess, is what you're.
Yeah, exactly. So it might be a corporation. So we have big corporations like Zynga, Starbucks, IKEA, and they want to show, their followers and their fans, their consumers, what kind of work they do in the corporate social responsibility sphere.
Okay.
So we'll do things like that with them. So specific campaigns with a specific corporate partner. But we also want to just show, the donor who donates. Maybe $10 a month or $10 once a year. A lot of donors donate only once, and during an emergency. So after a big earthquake, and we kind of want to show them this is the kind of thing that we do with that money,
Yeah.
and kind of keep that, the connection going. Because it's one thing to get the money and like send one email saying thank you.
You inspire them to give more.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
want to keep that relationship going and continue to show them that, we do work in emergencies, but we also do education work and health and nutrition work. So that, we do a really broad scope of work, and it's kind of tough to tell people that.
Is Westport, right here, this building, is this the headquarters for
Yes.
Save the
Yep.
Children?
Yes, this is the headquarters. So we have the Westport office, which is the headquarters. Then we have an office in New York City, which is basically our representatives for the UN, basically. So
Okay.
they interact with people at the United Nations. Then we have, which is a very small office in New York. And then there's also an office in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Are there any big upcoming events that you'd like me to mention on the blog?
What kind of events?
I don't know, anything local or anything that people might,
One thing we have going right now, there's a food crisis in the Horn of Africa. So it was just downgraded from a famine, but so in Somalia, Kenya, and Ethiopia, one of the worst famines in 60 some odd years.
Yeah.
So we have a campaign with the Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment, so the comic book company basically, DC Comics, called We Can Be Heroes. So they basically took the Justice League, so Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman, and all of those characters, and they basically are helping us build a campaign around that. It's been very difficult because it's, traditionally an earthquake or a tsunami, something like that, people understand. It's really easy to visually see the need. With something like this, where it's been, months, years in the making, it's much more difficult to get donors engaged. So we've been doing that. Another great off of that, this private individual, this is perfect for digital technology. Shambu Baza. He's a video gamer, basically. Big World of Warcraft, one of the best World of Warcraft players ever. He started his own campaign for us called Operation Sharecraft.
Okay.
And to date, I think he's raised close to $100,000 in the past 2 weeks. And he's just a private individual who's just tapping his friends, his Facebook friends, his Twitter followers, and his YouTube followers, just asking them.
Right.
Can you please donate and spare some time and some money?
Wonderful.
And they've been live streaming every day for 3 or 4 hours, just answering questions, giving away shout outs, because he does have a huge YouTube following. I think he's right behind Katy Perry, the pop star, in terms of followers.
This is one of the first programs that Save the Children got involved in
This is in Africa, so this is in Upper Volta.
Upper Volta, now Burkina Faso.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is 76.
And when did Save the Children begin?
Save the Children was founded in 1919 by Eglantine Jebb in the UK. And then in 1932, the Save the Children United States branch essentially was founded in Connecticut.
Okay.
And since then we've been growing. Some of our first programs over here, I think this is an Apache or maybe it's a Navajo. This is a Navajo reservation. Some of the first work we did in the United States was on Native American and Indian reservations.
Yeah. This is quite.
There's some abject poverty there.
This just caught my eye right here.
Yep. It's a great photo.
Wow. The new millennium. Despite changes in the nature and location of modern wars and other crises, Save the Children's mission to create long-lasting positive change in the lives of children in need remains the same, from war-torn Afghanistan to drought-stricken Africa to rural America. Wow.
This is one from our, I think this was called Bundle Days campaign. So this is one of the first international things we did. to basically we collected clothing for children who didn't have clothing in World War II.
Oh, wow.
So big fundraisers at schools, libraries, things like that, and then we shipped over all that clothing to Europe.
Okay. How long have you been here, David?
I've been here for, I guess, 2.5 years. I started in December of 2009
Okay.
in various capacities, an intern, volunteer,
Okay.
etc. But yeah, so
Okay.
I guess 2009.
And does your job allow you to travel as well?
I have not traveled to the field yet, but I do
Okay.
do a lot of traveling to like the inter offices and
Okay.
corporate partners, so down in New York City and then
Okay.
conferences, things like that, but no field travel yet.
Okay.
Um,
Also some interesting artwork here.
Yep.
Sculptures, I should say.
In fact, there's definitely that's probably some of the best artwork we have over here on this wall.
Okay.
Um,
All from Malawi?
all from Malawi. It's part of our HEART programs, and our HEART programs are basically art education and art therapy, mostly art education, and getting kids to communicate, being able to vocalize and really communicate, how they're doing. Great physical activity. So in this case, I think kids had to draw pictures that are representative of themselves, of their neighborhood, of their community, and then one of the big things is to get them to talk about it, and try and explain the picture. So it's great in terms of communication, and really that cognitive development.
Yep.
This is something that's pretty interesting. This is this guy. He's a blogger called the Digital Nomad. From National Geographic.
Yes.
And he just visited these exact programs actually in Malawi. He was there 1 week ago, and he was basically just tweeting and doing Facebook, and he learned that we could try and any time we have a program, you want it to be congruent with the community and mindful of what's traditional there. So in this program, one of the things we do is a lot of song and dance because it's great physical activity, and in the Malawi culture. They traditionally sing and dance a lot.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to get them to communicate, to get the kids physically active and get them dancing. So Andrew, the digital nomad, there's a great video of him online dancing along with these kids.
Oh.
And he was just completely taken back by how effective these programs are in getting kids to communicate, getting them to be active, and really making sure that everybody, all the children in the community are involved and really interact with one another.
Excellent.
And it's great for the parents too because they can understand the artwork and things like that.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to push new concepts on them that they don't understand. It's
Yeah.
these are the things.
It's part of the
It's
culture
part
already.
of the culture, exactly. And we can just use this to help teach kids.
It's nothing new. It's something they know and enjoy.
Exactly. I think that's one of the huge things about all of our programs is you have to have that cultural sensitivity and knowing.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult if you have to teach somebody a brand new concept. If it's something they're familiar with,
Yeah.
it's much easier to get these programs that are going to be effective and can actually have an impact and the community is actually going to accept.
Okay.
Because that's one of the things, if you see some ineffective programs, it's people who, the organization might not communicate with the community why this is important. Why is it important that your child goes to school?
Yeah.
What's the actual outcome? What's the benefit? So this is something like you can kind of say, you're already doing this.
Yeah.
And if we just take this one step further,
Okay.
your kid will be smarter, healthier, faster, and
Yeah.
just better able to contribute to society and really achieve their full potential. So
Okay.
this is some really cool stuff here.
Okay.